Hey, goddesses.
Hello.
You ready to manifest some
Yeah.
abundance? Let's do it. I am ready.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Thanks, Lakshmi.
Oh boy. Yes. Thank you, Lakshmi, this month. I
Yeah.
think a lot of us can relate to wanting to manifest some abundance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Agreed.
we're talking this week about tools and how we do that. And some of your favorite tools, Ramona. I know that you are. Was abundance your word for this year?
My word for this year
Last
is
year.
discipline.
Oh, okay.
Abundance was last year. Yeah.
Last year. Yeah. And
This year is discipline.
yeah. Well, and you did.
I have. I
You
have
have. You
really been
continue
working
to.
with that word all year long. It's just been
Yeah.
in different ways over and over again. And now I'm in another journey with discipline. And for those of you who know me, I have a thyroid issue. I have no thyroid, so I had to be on medication. And when you have thyroid issues, it affects your body weight. It can be either you're gaining weight or you're losing excessive weight, depending upon which way you're out of.
Hyper or hypo. Yeah.
And I tend to lean towards the hypo, which is easy to gain weight, very difficult to lose it,
Mhm.
And so it's always been kind of a life thing also for me with my body weight. But definitely when the thyroid stuff came up, it was enlightening, let's say, as to why it is that it was so hard. So all of that being said, I finally feel like my thyroid got leveled out, and then now it's like, okay, this year it's time for me to get my body happy. So I been on a little weight loss journey, and it takes a lot of discipline. You have to
Yeah.
be willing to get uncomfortable and do things that you don't want to necessarily do, but you got to look at the want to that is bigger than the I don't want to.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about Lakshmi and her partnership with Ganesha, the remover of
Yeah.
obstacles.
Mhm.
And those are some of the things that keep us from progressing, is that you think I am not disciplined enough to
Mhm.
follow that weight
Mhm.
loss plan, or whatever
Or I don't want
it
to give
is.
up having that nightly glass of wine, or I want to eat that chocolate cake every time it's on the table, or
Right.
I mean,
we
there's all kinds,
we
like
get in
we
our
get
own
into it,
way.
right? So we get into our own way because we have these program beliefs, right? And
Yeah.
so working with mantra, I believe, is what we talked about this week in our post for Lakshmi. Working with mantra is a
Mhm.
really good way to energetically invite your body, your mind, your soul to align to the intention that you are wanting to create, right?
Mhm.
So working with Om Gana Gatapaya Namaha. I think I said that too fast.
Sounded good to me.
It's it's Ganesha's mantra to
Right.
support in removing the obstacles that are keeping you from creating or moving forward in ways in your life where you feel stuck, right? Lakshmi also has a mantra, which I can't pull it off the top of my head. But if you chant this chant for Lakshmi, you're asking Lakshmi to help you bring abundance into your life and open you up to whatever form of abundance you are seeking. So when I do feel the need to work with those, I will do both of them. So I'll work with Ganesha first, and then I'll work with Lakshmi. So those are really wonderful and tactile tools, because you're actually able to use something. You can use a mala bead to travel the beads all the way around the 108 times, and then start the next mantra 108 times. you can create your own mantras. Like, you don't have to use necessarily a Sanskrit mantra.
Could just
Shifting
be
our
an
mindset,
affirmation.
yeah, so shifting our mindset from a negative to a positive mindset is truly important, and that comes from a mantra of, I am worthy, I am valuable, I am whatever, like, but it's an
Mhm.
affirmative, right? So that's the tool, stating it as an affirmative. I receive abundance with ease.
Right,
It's one
right.
of my favorite ones. I love that one a lot. I receive
Mm,
abundance with
with
ease. And let me tell
ease.
you what, every single time I do that, it like comes so fast. So fast.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine it.
What we speak, we create,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's a book out there called Your Word is Your Wand, I think.
Hmm.
Can't remember the author right now off the top of my head. But at any rate, this is such a powerful goddess. And I think I said this last week. Like, I love working with Lakshmi. Like, she just brings me so much joy, because I have lived so much of my life believing that I wasn't worthy of abundance, that I, living in a place of lack was just what it was. Like, I was just going to have to live that way for the rest of my life. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have anything and everything that I want in my life, because I am worthy of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, other tools, meditation, visualizing. Our dear friend Sue taught me this meditation called flow dreaming,
Hmm.
where you set your intention of what it is that you're wanting to manifest or create, and then you envision yourself sitting on a private island, or whatever you imagine it to be, but there's water all around you, and so things start to flow towards you, right? The energy flows towards you, but it's not just moving this way. It's coming from behind, it's coming from overhead, it's coming from the side, it's coming from underneath. Like, you're not controlling how you receive, you're just allowing it to come to you. So you're just envisioning yourself in this flow of reception, of receiving all that you need to manifest that intention, that abundance.
Yeah. I call that manifesting from the soul
Mm-hmm.
rather than manifesting from the ego. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in that, our soul knows the truth and knows the vision. You wouldn't have the vision if there wasn't something inside of you that was wanting
Yeah.
that to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our ego gets in the way
It does.
and says, well, what if it doesn't work out? All these what ifs, and well, what if it does work out?
Yeah. Well, and
And
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'll share this experience. I had this last week. So I know in my psyche that when I hit like week 3 or 4 of any kind of a weight loss plan, um, that is where I can get derailed like that. Like, somebody says, oh,
yeah,
we're going to go to a concert. And then I'm like, oh, but I want to have a cocktail at the concert. Well, guess what? Went to a concert a week ago Saturday, and I drank bubbly water with lime in it. And I still completely enjoyed myself.
yeah.
And then I went to the beach this weekend, and we spent time with my brother and sister-in-law, and everybody else was having a beer or this or that. And I was like, I'm just gonna drink my water, and like, but that's that discipline. So for me, part of being that's the word of my year, I
Mhm.
can give it up, but then it's going to take twice as much for me to get back on track. So the commitment to myself is where I reap the reward. And so the reward was, I walked into my brother's house this weekend, and my sister-in-law looked at me and went, "What are you doing? I need to know what it is."
I know. I was just thinking about that aspect of co-creating that,
Mhm.
is such a goddess thing. And that at the point where you might have, what's one drink or, one
Yeah,
cookie or whatever it is,
yeah,
that
whatever.
somebody comes in and says, I want to do that.
Yeah, I want to do
And
that.
that,
Right?
and all of a sudden you have a partner, an accountability partner, or somebody, to journey with, or
Right.
coach along the way. And of course, we learn even more when we teach somebody else what we've learned.
Well, and I think the really magical thing was that I was having, that's what I was saying, is that this last week was like the week where it was like, okay, win, lose, or draw, what are you doing? Like, and I
Yeah.
had 3 times this last week where I was just, my brain started creating chaos. And that chaos, had I given it power, because again, I'm going to manifest based on where I put my energy. So I can focus on the chaos and manifest more chaos, or I can say, I hear you. I see that you're really uncomfortable and you don't like where we are right now and you would like for it to be someplace else, but we're not there. And so I'm going to just sit still and I'm going to trust in this process. I'm going to, and this is really important with manifesting, goddesses.
Yeah. Trusting that process.
Trusting in the process, trusting in the time that it takes, and understanding in divine timing. So I wasn't going to the beach this weekend. This was a snap decision I made on Thursday, because I thought, what will make me happy right now? What would bring me joy? What do I want that will bring? And I was like, I need to go to the beach. And so that's how I took the negative, chaotic mindset and said, I'm going to shift it to a positive. And so I started focusing, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to get my body in the salt water, and I'm going to see dolphins, which I did because I always do. And I'm going to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I have this discipline this year. Right. So then the gift of that choice was, hey, you can stay with us. Okay, great. Show up. And they're like, what was happening? And then the kicker was, I had this one pair of shorts that I bought when I went to Hawaii last year, that even when I bought them last year, they were snug. Not super snug, but they weren't loose, right? Like they fit. I was the exact same weight right now that I was when I left for Hawaii last year. When I put those shorts on yesterday, they were like I'm pulling them away from my abdomen, and I'm going, what? Like I had to actually like pull the drawstring to make sure they stay up on my hip. So the difference between what I was doing last year and this year is what I'm putting in my body for fuel, versus last year I was just doing it through what I got at the grocery store. So even though I'm the same weight, I have more muscle, the inches are different, like whatever. So the gift was having somebody come outside, as you said, wow, you look great. What are you doing? And then the next morning, having the wherewithal to pay enough attention to see, oh, wow, these have changed, which then invited me to take a picture and put it next to something from before I started. And I was like, oh
yeah,
I just need to stay on I just need to stay on course, because I'm this discipline is bringing me to the abundance. So intention setting, I've set an intention. I'd like my body to be healthier. I'd like to not have to worry about medication, cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes. Like these are things that are in my family unit, like my ancestral line. If I don't get it under control now, what is going to happen to me? Because I'm already getting told by my doctor, oh, we need to keep an eye on blah, 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 blah. So,
and I think that's the key.
An abundance of health, right?
Well, that's it. You were
abundance of health. Then
not like, I want to lose a bunch of weight. Okay.
Yeah. This is necessary for me to stay on path. And so working with Lakshmi to help me remember my why. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So
I can't believe I forgot. Because this came to my mind, I didn't want to forget. And I forgot. I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. This weekend, there was a Shakti festival. I think that's what, that what they called it? I don't know. It was no Bhakti Yoga Festival
Oh,
down the street, and they had well, basically it was the local not the Mooney group, but the what if they had this float, and they had everybody come and gather for some food and some music and Hare Krishna. It was all the Hare Krishna, and it was so much fun. We sat there, we chanted Hare Krishna,
yeah.
and it was really really fun. And then they said they brought in these young girls who were all dressed up, and they said they're going to do some dances for you. And the first one was Lakshmi. And I tell you what, it was the most beautiful, beautiful thing. And talk about discipline, and that these movements, and how I was just the mudras that they held, and I was just sitting there like, whoa, this is amazing. And at the end, they all kind of made this like, how she has many arms. They did the many arms, and one of them was like Ganesha with the trunk. I was thinking, this is just amazing. And
well, and that's another thing you see with Lakshmi, is she has many hands to receive.
Exactly.
So again, if you are in a place, so kind of
it come from different places.
Okay, like I can hold on tight to, I want to keep doing things the way I'm doing them and get nowhere. I want to keep eating this way. I want to keep having freedom to have a drink with my family if I would go, whatever. Like I'm just using that as the example because it's the most recent in my life. But there's this or this. And when I'm like this, it just flows in and flows in. And I will tell you, since I made this decision to take this journey for myself, the amount of abundance that has entered my life, I couldn't have even imagined. So Lakshmi is a very powerful goddess to work with. If you want to create abundance, you want to be very clear about what you want to create, and you want to make sure that all of your energy has been put in the direction of that intention and not the lack of it.
There you go.
Not the focus of what you don't have. Instead, it's about focusing on what you do have, having gratitude for it, and then being open to receiving more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
There we go. Happy manifesting abundance this month, goddesses. And we would love for you to tell us in the comments. We have this in YouTube. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there, or on our Facebook page, what you're manifesting this month, or what you envision happening.
And keep an eye out. I think some space has been opened up in my life that I wasn't expecting. So I think that we will work on having a gathering soon. So just keep an eye out.
Sounds beautiful.
Many magical things to come.
And
with that, we will bid you adieu, and we will see you again next week.
Bye, goddesses.